Salute, salute, YouTube family, salute. We are back, the Red Corner, episode 27. Um, some pretty surprising, you know, results, to say the least. My co-host Micah. I'm a,
Yes, sir.
I'm a, have him start this out and just want his, opinion on everything that took place. But go ahead, Micah.
Bro, first of all, we have to talk about this controversial decision between uh Piotr Jan and Sean O'Malley.
Right.
Um just the third round, second round I gave to Piotr Jan, the third round I gave to O'Malley. Um really because of the striking. Piotr Jan didn't do much with the grappling. He had a lot of control time. He had a lot of control time throughout the entire fight, but especially in the third round. It was like literally no, not just in the third round, but throughout the entire fight, it was like 5 minutes of control time to like 2 seconds, literally, of ground control time. Because Sean, I think, got his back in the first round, for like a split for like a 2 seconds,
Mm,
literally, but he didn't do enough. He didn't do enough damage in the third round. So I gave it to Sean. I gave the second round to Piotr Jan. And I also gave the first round to Piotr Jan. Um, he was land he, well, number one, the striking was more even in the first round. He
mm-hmm.
landed some pretty heavy leg kicks. Well, not I don't want to say heavy, but he landed some leg kicks. Um,
Right.
he was obviously he Sean's boxing is obviously he has that length that you were talking about in last episode.
Right.
But Piotr's boxing is very good too for his size.
Yeah.
Um, I was talking about how he was flat-footed and that was going to be a problem for him, and that was evident in the striking. We were seeing Sean doing a really good job of staying on the outside.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the first round, though, I did give to Piotr Jan, which was actually just not how I expected the fight to go. Um, we were talking about how this 3 round
Right.
format
Was right. Was gonna.
it really favors Sean O'Malley. I
Right.
think that if the fight would have kept going, that it would have been a lot different. That Piotr Jan would have figured him out, would have switched his game plan up, and ultimately would have walked away with the W. I don't. I'm based on what we saw. I don't necessarily think that he would have finished Sean, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that he definitely would have walked away with the W.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have gone 5 rounds, I think that he. Well, first of all, let me just say that I think Sean, well, it's not even I think, Sean definitely surprised a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
with his performance. I mean, you ranked at number 11 and you're fighting
Number
uh,
one dude.
you
Oh.
fighting the former champ,
Right.
um who's beat the likes of Jose Aldo, he's beat Corey Sandhagen. So your stock just rose a lot if you're Sean O'Malley. Even though I think that Piotr Jan was robbed in this fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, like for sure. He definitely won that first round, in my opinion, and it was 2-1 Jan.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Um. Um. Yeah, man. That was probably one of the worst decisions I've seen in a long time. Um. I actually gave all three rounds to Jan. I'd have to watch the third round again.
mhm,
To in hindsight again, but um, Jan and Sean didn't do bad. Sean was in the fight. It was competitive. I think Jan just did enough every single round to be to get the round for himself. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? He took him down. I know he didn't do too much with the takedowns, but he took him down like five times. Well, how many times? Like five
I
within the whole fight, numerous times.
yeah, I think 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, he took him down. He said he did have some control time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that, I mean, like I said, man, Sean was doing good. He was like he definitely showed that he deserves to be in the conversation with the top dudes. But he lost that fight. He
Hmm.
lost that fight. He did not win that. And even when they when they showed the decision actually, like, and they told him he won, he did not look convinced of, like, he would look
Yeah,
surprised.
he didn't believe that he
He
won.
didn't
Yeah,
believe it. He didn't believe himself.
she's highly uncharacteristic for
Yeah.
John.
Right, right. And you know what? Like, I'm not gonna say he did the wrong thing for not saying I lost, because, obviously you don't want to even say that. I mean, some dudes can say that, but you're not wrong for saying that. But whatever. He, I don't think anyone believes that he won that fight. I
Hmm.
mean, obviously, I made a video about it, and I have people saying, no, he lost, or Jan lost the fight, but I think a lot of people are disappointed at that decision. I am impressed with Sean's performance though. I think he did good, but I just think Jan was just a step above.
Hmm.
Um, so but
Yeah,
keep
but
going.
the next fight it was after that one was Aljamain and TJ,
Mm,
which you know which was another fight that I was surprised. I said prior, I said that Aljamain was gonna win,
hmm.
but that was a dominant performance.
Absolutely.
That like
Like,
that one thing that we have to talk about is the fact that TJ was injured. He did come in with his shoulder
right.
was messed up. It wasn't like out or anything
Hmm.
like that, but he essentially dislocated his shoulder in the first round, and they popped it back in.
Hmm.
Um, and that was that. That was that. But it definitely affected him. You could see it in his striking. He was not throwing his. He wasn't even. He was even doing things that were uncharacteristic of him. He wasn't throwing the combos that he usually throws.
Hmm.
He has a very good jab, which I know you like to see out of people. TJ is a guy who has a great jab, and he wasn't even using it really because his left shoulder was basically shot. And you even saw in the fight, Aljamain was targeting it after he knew it. He was kicking,
Right.
the shoulder.
Right.
Um, but but yes, so Aljamain is a dominant champion. He's very good on the ground, even with Piotr Jan, who has who is a wrestler who has wrestling accolades. We saw him take his back and essentially control, and that is one position where Aljamain is very good is off the back, or is on your back. Sorry,
Hmm.
not off his own back, but
Right.
when he
Okay, I
takes
get
the
what you
back.
mean. No, I was saying I know what you mean.
Yeah, but when he takes the back, it's very hard to escape his back mount.
Hmm.
He just knows how to keep it. He knows all
Knows
the
how to keep
ways.
you there. He knows how
He
to keep you there.
Yeah, I mean he knows all the ways. He's very aware of the position. He knows all the ways that guys can escape, all the reversals. So you'll try to get out, um, and he'll mount you. I could break that. I'm not gonna go into detail right now, but he could. But there's a way for you to escape, or you turn out of it, and if you don't do it correctly, or if the person is aware of it, they can mount you, and which is actually what we saw happen
Hmm.
with in the fight. We saw TJ almost escape, but Aljamain was just scrambling with him essentially and
Right.
mounted him.
Right.
um but yeah, but Aljamain, that was just a dominant win.
Yeah, man. And you gotta give, I give credit to Aljamain, man. I mean, at the end of the day, TJ took the fight. He could have pulled out. He could have, he came in injured. He knew he was injured. If at the end of the day, that's not on Aljamain. You know what I'm saying? And I always hear this a lot. Like, you're never 100% going into a fight.
Hmm.
Everyone says that. You know what I'm saying? They always say there's always something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I give all the credit to Aljamain. Yeah, I think it might have looked a little bit different if, well, I'm sure it would have been a little bit, I still would have had, well, actually this was the first time I fully watched TJ fight a full fight. Well, 2 rounds. But um, you know, basically what I'm saying is, yo, I don't want Sterling to not get credit for this win. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the injury. 'Cause I think it was what he did was impressive at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so now we move
It's
on into the abyss.
yeah,
Uh,
man. I mean, Charles did all the wrong things, my brother. Charles did all the wrong things. He clinched with him. He was using a lot of short range strikes. Uh, really didn't use his jab. He was throwing He was throwing a lot of strikes to the body.
hmm
He was throwing a lot more kicks than he should have.
Right.
You don't really throw a lot of kicks against a wrestler because he gives
Gonna
him a
catch it.
chance.
And he
Yeah,
did that, right? He did catch it, right?
yeah,
He took
and
him down
he
with
did
it.
the exact wrong thing, man. I mean, he clinched with him up against the cage
hmm
and got thrown,
Thrown down.
you know, and it got I don't think he mounted him, but he got thrown. He got taken down,
Yeah.
and this is what I was literally saying, man. Like last episode, I was saying he needs to keep his distance
Right. Yep. You
with
did say
Islam.
that. You did say that.
Uh, he needs to keep his distance. I said, listen, you don't want to fuck around with on the ground. Either one of these guys.
Right.
I mean, obviously Islam. We learned that he has no problems,
Yeah.
but you know you have the clear advantage on the feet, and if you would have stayed disciplined, which he didn't,
He didn't. He didn't. He got
did
really close. He wasn't using his reach to his advantage.
he wasn't moving his head. He wasn't.
He was getting clipped with stupid shots.
Yeah, he
Stupid
was
shots.
walking into shots.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what happened. Is he tried to essentially treat Islam like he was every other dude, and walk through him, and it really just backfired. He didn't respect him.
hmm
Is essentially is what happened at the
Right.
end of the day.
Um. You know, and I titled my video the reaction. I said Khabib was right, and what I was referencing was I suppose that we this answered the question of does Oliveira still have quit in him? And that answered the question. He does because it. Okay, you tell me. Did that look like he really tried
He
when he
could
was
have
in that?
defended that, man. I've
That
been in that submission and I've defended it.
does it hurt that much?
It doesn't hurt. It's just a choke.
It's just okay, so it's a choke.
Yeah.
But I've seen I've seen Charles in deeper waters than that, and the fact that he what bro, it wasn't long at all. It was like what, maybe a couple seconds.
I mean, if it was tight, you can go to sleep pretty fast. You can go to sleep in seconds.
Okay,
And
okay.
Islam is strong. That's
That's
what
fine.
everybody says about Islam, as
hmm
well as Islam is a very, very strong guy.
hmm
So, I think that it was a very tight choke. Um, I feel like he could have defended it. There's a number of things that you could do in that position to defend
What
it,
what
and
could you do in that position?
well, one thing is like he could have used the telephone defense, and if he switched up the angle, he could have reached down and grabbed behind his own, like behind his leg, and it could have stretched that out to create some space, and he could have worked his way out of it. I mean, there's there's things that he knows that he could have done that I have no clue about.
hmm
So it's just it's I believe that you're correct. I believe that he quit. I don't know why.
I don't know why,
Um,
man. It see to me it doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't add up to me. Like I'm here, I'm watching the fight, and I just see him quit. He's like it didn't seem like he really wanted it. Like you know what I'm saying? And it just made me question, bro. It just really made me question that whole card. Well, except the Aljamain fight, but we got Jan getting robbed, and then we get Islam or Charles getting submitted. And and I don't know, man. It was just crazy.
mhm.
I was very surprised.
Yeah,
Um,
man, it was a night full of I mean, at least those three fights. Those were three very unexpected outcomes.
extremely, extremely unexpected outcomes. Extremely alarming. You know, it like when we see this I have a bad feeling about that fight. I have a bad feeling for Alex Pereira and Israel. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because it's like, yo, we were wrong, man. I mean, don't
I
get me
mean,
wrong. Like,
you can't
yeah, no. And if I can,
pedestalize. We were pedestalizing.
what do you mean by that? Oh. I
Putting him
get,
on a
yeah,
yeah, we
I
were
get what you're
putting him on
saying.
a pedestal. I
No,
get
you're
what you.
right. You're right. You're right. And we like him, right? So
Yeah, you
we're
can't do
gonna
that. See,
exactly with these combat sports, bro. You can't do that, and that's what happened. That's what happened, and I've learned you really can't be emotional in this sport, man. Like you can't be invested in these. These guys they're fighters. They win, they lose. It's a part of the sport. It's part of the game. Um, but yeah, that one really surprised me, man. Like I was expecting to see something different from Oliveira. To see some. Well, we did see some. I mean, I was expecting to see a killer in Oliveira.
hmm
And this. I said this to myself. I said, damn, this rule is really universal, man. Never underestimate the quiet one. Cause
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because Islam was at. I mean, Islam was actually the favorite
yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah.
going into this, and I was like, man, I lost money on that fight,
How
man.
much did you bet?
I lost $50, man.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah,
but I'd rather not lose it.
facts. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, man, you gotta be careful with these quiet dudes, man. Cause even I'm not to say that Islam was quiet, but in all their altercations, it,
Hmm.
it was Charles saying I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna end him in one round, and what happened?
That's the way they are, though. Just the way they are in that part of the world. It's
Oh,
just
oh,
like
like what? Brazil?
no, I mean in Russia, in Dagestan. I mean,
Oh, what? That they're
it's
quiet, they're
very
humble.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Khabib, like those guys. You didn't see Khabib talking very much.
yeah.
You saw him, you really saw him just like stay true to himself very much while people tried to put on a show and whatnot.
Right, right. That's very true. Oh boy, you know. Hey, that's the game. Who does he fight? Oh, okay. How do you think he does against Volk?
Islam,
Yeah,
he would crush Volkanovski.
crush him, eh? How big is
Yeah,
Volk?
5'6".
And how big is Islam?
He's 5'6", 72-inch reach though.
Islam is 5'6".
No. Volk.
How big is Islam?
I mean, Islam might be 5'11".
Yeah, because they're the same size, him and Charles.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, let me look that up really quickly. How tall Islam Makhachev is. I think he's 5'11".
does Volk get? Because they're saying that he's getting the next opportunity, the next title shot.
That I saw that as well. I don't know if it's if that's confirmed,
Hmm.
but I did see that as well. That they want that up because he wants to move up.
Right,
He has essentially he's done everything that he can.
at flyweight,
Yeah, or featherweight.
featherweight. Okay.
He's basically done everything he can. He's beat Max 3 times.
Yeah,
Um,
3 times, man.
yeah, he's 5'10".
Okay.
Yeah, but he's beat Max 3 times. There's not really anybody in the division, and the Max is beating everybody under him, pretty, handily. Uh,
Hmm.
Yair, I would have thought that he would have fought Yair Rodriguez next. I feel like he should give Yair a shot before he moves up because Yair, I don't want to say he was coming off of the there was a time when Max and Volko they were supposed to fight and it had gotten canceled. I believe Max got COVID or he had an injury or something happened, but I cannot remember. I can't remember exactly what. But they were supposed to fight and it got canceled.
Hmm.
And um Yair had just fought Max Holloway. He had just lost to Max and I believe that it was a split decision. But I don't remember if it was a split decision, but it was a close fight, very close fight.
Mhm.
Um, but essentially, because he had just had that close ass fight with Max, and Max fought Volkanovski right after, or it was supposed to, it got canceled. Yair was like, okay, well, it makes sense that I just fought Max. Then he fought the champ. Now he can't fight, so I should fight.
Mhm.
But instead, they had Volk fight the Korean Zombie.
Oh, so that's
Um,
why they fought.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's why they fought. Okay. And Yair Rodriguez, right?
hmm
Trying to think if I know that dude.
But Yair Rodriguez, I think that he should fight Volkanovski.
Okay.
Um,
So you
because
think
I think,
you think Volk should stay at featherweight? Does he get killed at lightweight?
I wouldn't say he gets killed, but he's not. The size is gonna be, bro. The lightweight division is like the toughest division in the UFC. Like
Mhm.
just with the guys that are in it.
Right.
Um, but he's gonna struggle if he decides to move up to lightweight.
Mhm.
Power number one. He's not knocking people out
Right.
already.
Mhm.
So he definitely is fast, way
Yeah.
faster
He's
than
fast.
anybody that's there, and he'll be able to touch them up for real.
Mhm.
But I do not think that he'd be able to deal with the power. Like if he goes up against someone like Dustin Poirier, with who has like who's that much bigger than him, but he also has like good hands, like he has great boxing, like Dustin does.
Right.
He's gonna get touched
Mhm.
up a lot, and
Mhm.
he's not gonna be able to deal with the power. I mean, we saw it even with Max Holloway, who has more of a chin than anybody, and we saw him go up against Dustin Poirier, and he lost the fight. Max lost the fight, even though he landed more, lost the fight simply because, like in MMA, damage is what counts. And
Damage.
Dustin was landing straight up, but just the heavier shots. Every time they were exchanging, Max was landing more, but just Dustin was damaging him more. Like he was just wearing it.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So
Yeah.
what weight was that when they fought Dustin and Max?
And Max, they fought twice before. So
Wow.
I believe that they fought either twice at featherweight or once at featherweight and once at lightweight.
Okay.
I believe is what happened.
Okay. Um, was it gonna
But yeah,
go ahead?
they fought once at featherweight and once at lightweight. I think it was before I was into MMA, so I'd have to go back
Mhm.
and look and see exactly what the weights were. But they definitely fought once at featherweight. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
Dustin Poirier did used to fight. A lot of guys used to fight at featherweight, Oliveira included.
And didn't Connor as well?
Yeah,
Connor too. Um, so if Volk doesn't get the opportunity, who deserves it next?
to is Beneil. I would say Beneil Dariush.
Okay.
They're already supposed to fight,
All right, they're supposed to fight. And
and
who?
he just beat this guy tonight. I believe he's on like a 7 fight win, 8 fight win streak.
Yeah, I saw him, man. He's good. I saw his fight. I watched his
Yeah,
fight, Darush.
and he's a grappler.
Yeah. I would give it to Islam, bro, only because I think Islam is more disciplined. Um,
I would give it to Islam too because I believe that. Well, I just believe that Islam's wrestling is, and like we saw Islam stand up. Islam can
he can
really
stand up.
drop.
Yeah.
Islam can really stand up and really connect and drop people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 No, he's good, man. He's good. I gotta give him credit. I gotta give him credit. I just didn't like the way that the fight ended. It seemed very anticlimactic. It seemed like almost too easy. You know what I'm saying? Almost
yeah,
too easy.
I was really expecting like a war
Yeah.
to
Like if
happen.
if it was gonna go down that way, I was expecting a war. You know what I'm saying? And we did not get that. We got a how do I put it?
Eh, And execution, bro.
Holy shit. Yeah, wasn't uh wasn't what I was expecting, but okay, so if it's not Darush though, who? Because do you think they'll really give it to him?
They're usually it's. I mean, the thing is, man, that you got to look at the matchmakers. The matchmakers are what's gonna. In Dariush, I think Dariush was ranked number four. Give me one second. I have it up, but Dariush was ranked number four before
Okay.
this, and now, well, it's not Tuesday yet, so the new rankings have not come out.
Mhm.
But he was ranked number four before this, and it'll go up.
Mhm.
You know,
Because
it's
he just,
gonna it.
cause, you're right, 'cause he just defeated that one dude.
Yeah, you just beat Gamrot.
Mhm.
So let me look at the rankings real quickly. Oh, but Neil was number six, not number four.
Okay.
Sorry. Islam was number four before
Okay.
he
Oh,
before
really?
he beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But Michael Chandler, they could get. Nah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I have a feeling they're gonna give it to them, the Michael Chandler and Dustin fight. I have a feeling they're gonna give that winner.
Michael Chandler and Dustin are about to fight.
Yeah.
So who's it next? I mean, there's Benil Dariush should be next, man.
He should be next.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, he's coming on. He's on a 8 fight win streak.
Yeah. And both those guys, Chandler and Dustin, both have just they lost recently. Two
They
out
lost
there,
to
obviously.
Oliveira,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I mean, and like I said, they were already supposed to fight,
Mhm.
so it's only right that that they fight, and now it's gonna be for a belt.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I believe that Benil Dariush should be the next person. I believe that their styles would clash very well.
Okay, here's a question for you. Um, m promotion wise, is that a big fight?
Benil and Charles. Well, no, not really, because for Islam, yes, because he's a big name.
Mhm.
Benil's not like he's not crazy on the mic,
Yeah.
and he's not really well known, even though he's very good. He's
Yeah.
a dude, kind of like like who did you literally just say? You literally just mentioned someone who was
Um,
it may have been at 45. What the hell?
I said it.
What the heck? Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the pound for pound rankings.
Oh,
And Volka's number one now on the
yeah.
pound for pound rankings.
Yeah.
But no, you mentioned a person before who, but no, it's fine. But he's just basically a guy who, like, he's very good, but he doesn't have the name because he's not like gonna sell a fight, or
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
he's not good on the mic. He's not a Conor McGregor,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And when he won the fight, you know what he was talking. He's just one of those dudes that um, I won't even go there. I won't go there, but I don't know if you know what I was gonna talk about.
Nah.
Okay.
What, that just gives too much credit to his opponent,
No.
or what?
Do you remember what he said right after the?
I don't remember. No.
Okay, that's all right.
No, say it.
No, it's not on the stream. Not on the stream. It's not bad or anything like that, but no, he was just like, I give glory to, what I'm saying, this and that, what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, and like I don't know if that's gonna gravitate well for, you know, uh, uh, you know, building a fight, building a fight as far as that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah. I
you
understand.
get where I'm coming from?
No, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
mean, that's what Pacquiao did, didn't he?
did he?
Yeah,
He may have. I don't know.
Pacquiao, bro. Okay, we're gonna have to go into it. But Pacquiao, we used to be Muslim.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Pacquiao used to be Muslim. He converted to Christian.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that it was it might have been for the Mayweather fight, but for one of his fights, he walked into like a song by like Marvin Sapp or something like that.
Hmm.
like never would have made it or something by
Yeah.
Marvin Sapp.
Wow.
Like he walked into a gospel song at one of
Wow.
his like a well-known gospel song.
Yeah. That's surprising. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah. Okay. Um,
Sure,
what was I gonna say? I just forgot it.
it happens, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys gotta
It's
excuse me.
okay.
I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Um.
Hmm.
Um.
No, but Earl and what's his face are so who's supposed to fight Earl Spence
So basically, what happened?
or Bud rather?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, so what's going on is we spoke about this before. Terrence Crawford agreed to take 35% of the split versus 65 Arrow's getting, right? He agreed to be the B side, right? He agreed to take no guaranteed money, right?
Hmm.
His only demand was for them to open up the books so that he can see how much money they're making and real and figure out, make sure he's not getting, scammed pretty much, like depending, he wants to see how much, money they're bringing in because he's not getting any guaranteed money. So he needs to know how much they're bringing in, how much the gate made, so he's not getting destroyed, financially, right? They didn't want to do it, okay? So that's what was holding up the fight for so long, right? But he was offered 10 million or at least $10 million. It was eight figures, so that's at least $10 million, right? So
Damn, yeah,
to fight on BLK Prime, which is a new streaming service, right? So people are saying he's ducking Errol Spence, but you got to look at it like this. He agreed to everything. They didn't want to show him the books, and basically, he's taking the better deal. You know what I'm saying? He's taking the better because PBC is trying to mess him up. Put it like they're trying to scam him. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
They don't want to pay him any money. So it's like at the end of the day, I mean, how can you be mad? He's going out there and getting paid for a fight when PBC doesn't want to pay him at all. So, I don't like it, but I can't blame him. So the fight's definitely not happening this year because he's fighting someone else at in December.
hmm.
So, it's still a possibility that the fight could happen next year. I know they're saying they're trying to plan for it for February, but Errol Spence he wants to move up because he's been making 147 for his whole career. He said it's getting extremely tough to make 147, and he wanted this fight to be his last fight at 147, right? So,
Damn.
um, whether he has another fight, we don't know if he's going to stick around for Errol Spence, or for Terrence Crawford, and I can't blame him. But pretty much we can't blame either fighters, man, because it's the promotional side, man. The promoters do not want this fight. They don't want they do not want this highly big fight for boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, and it's making me lose faith in combat sports. And watching that UFC card last night made me also when I saw Young get robbed like that. Um, it just like I'm like, damn, man. Like there's just so much inconsistencies.
It's corruption,
It's
bro. At the end
corruption.
of the
It's
day,
corruption.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that was corruption. I think that that's just in the UFC. I think that what it is the judging system. We use the boxing system,
Okay.
and it's messed up, bro, because it's very hard to it's we need categories
Right.
in in uh in MMA for
Okay.
judging.
Okay.
So that because that's really what it was. It was a really just bad judging,
Bad judging,
I
man.
think, in the UFC. Um, and I think that it's because it's a new sport.
Mhm.
It's fairly new. It's evolving very fast. If you even look at like the first UFC was in '93,
Right.
and if you look at how it's changed
Yeah.
since then, I mean, what is that, 30 years ago?
Right. And
Or
boxing has been
about
around. Boxing has been around since the early 1900s. You know what I'm saying? So like that they've had time to select. Even though people get robbed in boxing as well, just as
Mhm.
bad. But I'd say a lot of times, bro, when they get robbed, bro, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of it is corruption in boxing. You know what I'm saying? That one could have been just straight bad. um, judging. I do think it has to do with Sean O'Malley's star power, to be honest with you, a little bit. I think he's more promotable than Jan. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
think they'd rather be okay. If it's a close fight, give it to Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just alarming, man. Like when you see someone clearly win a fight, you're like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even a Jan fan. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against him, but
Hmm.
like, I don't really know him like that. Like, I don't pay attention to him like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know more about him, and I'm like, yo, he won that fight. So it's
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, it's just this is not I want to say even in the last I mean, that just happens all the time though in MMA,
yeah,
which is it sucks because like the fighters, there's some fighters in the UFC. I don't want to go on about fighter pay because I think it's a super complicated issue.
hmm
There's some fighters in the UFC who they fight in the UFC, but they also have other jobs. Like they also may do like a labor job or something like that
which
because
is
they need to
crazy to
support their
me.
family.
Obviously, the lower tier guys you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and when you lose, you don't make as much of your purse,
Right.
and you also still have to pay your corner, you still have to pay your coaching
Coaches,
staff, you still
right,
have to pay your gym fees and
right.
all that.
Oh man.
So like you don't, and then that money still gets taxed as
Oh
well.
boy.
So like you come away with not that much money,
Right,
not very much money, and it's it sucks because like obviously, that sucks for the loser as well, for anybody who loses even rightfully. But if even if you win, if you put in the correct work and you get robbed like
right,
that,
right.
and you still have to
You're gonna
like,
feel it in your pockets and everywhere else. You're gonna feel it. You know.
yeah, man, for real.
It
So,
sucks,
but
man.
that's why, yeah, but but that's what we need categories, man. We need categories in MMA for judging. Um, really, we need categories, and it will change the way that people fight.
Right,
Because right now, like the way that people fight right now, if people know that you get certain amount of points in a certain amount of category in a certain category for like control time
mhm,
or for control time or for like for strikes landed or for damage done
mhm.
or for something like that. It's gonna change the way that people fight.
Right,
Because but yeah, it's just gonna change the way that people fight, man. It really is. The boxing system is a system that is meant for sweet science.
yeah, and that
It's
it.
meant for
Right, for
singular numbers,
right,
meant for singular weapons
right.
in your hands.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. I don't think it would translate well to MMA. You're dealing with so much more.
Yeah.
You have way more ways to win a fight in MMA. So I think the scoring and the pattern and everything like that should reflect that. If I didn't know they're using the boxing system, to
Yeah, it's a ten
point
nine
system.
system.
Okay, yeah, that I don't think that computes. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I mean,
computes.
you see it at the end of the rounds. They say they score at
10,
30, 27,
right?
30,
Okay,
27,
got you.
because there's three judges
Right,
and they're all scoring at 10-9.
right.
So,
Um, I know I've messed with this one dude on YouTube, Blue Bud Sports. He thinks there should be there should be a judge on each side. Oh, you know what? It's an octagon, so it's different. But like a boxing one, it should be like a judge on each side, and they should be up, so they're looking down on the fight, so they can see everything. What do you think about that?
I agree with that too. I mean, I agree that the judges should have a better angle because I've
Yeah.
always thought about that. Like I've always thought about like they say like, oh my, there's all this hysteria, right? About how I don't even know if hysteria is the right word, but there's all this like there's like a flex. behind having like a ringside seat or an octagon side seat.
Hmm.
But like really that's not even the best seat because you have
Right.
to look through the freaking
Yeah.
ropes or through the cage.
Right.
Like really the best seat is when you can like is when you're close, but you're not so close that you're below the cage or below the ropes or whatever,
Right.
and you're elevated and you're close enough that you can see the fight, like how it looks like on camera.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. That's it's a misconception, man. You know, you want. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a cool experience, but yeah, the view probably isn't that great. The view probably just is not that great. But we're gonna wrap it up now because I'm feeling not good at all. This was hard enough to come here. I knew we had to do it though. Um, but we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna be back Wednesday, and we're definitely gonna be talking about Alex. And we're gonna be talking about Jake Paul because Jake Paul is happening this weekend.
Yep.
So definitely stay tuned. So like and subscribe, guys. Like the video. You know, there's people in here. Like the video. You know, don't moonlight. Like the video. You know, it says that on the bottom. Like it. You know, so it definitely supports us. But we're gonna be here giving some more good content, and you guys let us know in the comments, man, what you thought about Charles, man. Like, did it surprise you? Khabib is right, man. We saw the quit in him. You know, so you know. But anyways, like and subscribe, Mel Knight Sports. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy.